Have you ever heard the saying, it's the destination, not the journey? Or maybe you've seen self-improvement creators say the phrase, systems over goals. This advice, though it's well-intentioned, misses a crucial point. They oversimplify the process of achieving meaningful progress. This advice is holding you back, and if you make this shift in perspective, you'll be able to make actual progress towards your goals faster. So like I said, creators love to regurgitate that same shallow information, systems over goals, that they got from Atomic Habits, and then they use that to try to be different, and then they give you a set system to follow, a system that probably doesn't align with your situation. The reason why it's bad advice is because you need clear goals to set up systems to achieve them. Not one goal, goals, and it has to be your goal. You can't completely rely on their systems to get you to your goal. Most people set one or two huge goals that are way beyond their current level and don't end up making any progress. This is because they don't understand the smaller goals inside of that bigger goal that they need to chase first, and the problems that you will encounter and have to overcome to achieve them. So like when in video games, they make you take on the final boss in the first mission of the game just to show his strength, but he's impossible to beat at your current skill level. You guys are trying to take on the final boss when you're at level 1. So your goal at the start is to fix your problems, lack of skill and weapons. Then you go after the smaller goals that are attainable for you, the smaller bosses. Then over time, those smaller goals compact, and then you're at the big goal, the desired goal, final boss battle. And I don't necessarily think that life is a video game, but I think that reference kind of fits in here. So what I'm getting at here is that you may already have a goal. It's probably just not an attainable one, and you won't be able to create those systems you speak so highly of to achieve it. The systems that you use to get to a smaller goal aren't going to work towards that bigger goal. So if you set systems for a big goal, you're not going to be able to complete them because you need systems that are going to help you get to the smaller goal before you can get to that one. The same systems aren't going to work at different levels. Systems come after mental clarity. To follow through with those systems, you need to have your goal on top of your mind all the time, like always. If you have a conscious goal that is meaningful to you, you need to adopt the identity of someone who would achieve that goal, keeping the goal in the back of your mind all the time. When you start to do that, you will make decisions based on that identity and identify if something helps or hurts it. When you have a certain identity, you are going to be happy while doing that thing and unhappy when you can't do it. I wrote a tweet about this a little while ago. Creators are happier than the average person when sitting at a computer all day, every day, because they are working towards their passion. Things that are often dull and repetitious are fun when you are building your own future instead of someone else's. So this is all perspective. What you might think is not fun might actually be really fun for someone else who has the identity of someone who thinks that is fun. So it's the same thing for like going to the gym. When I finally got consistent going into the gym, it became part of my identity. But then when I had an injury and I couldn't go to the gym for a while, it was eating away at me and negatively affecting my health because I couldn't go to the gym. It was part of my identity, but that was taken away from me. And previously, I didn't feel that. Before I was consistent, I wasn't going, so that wouldn't have affected me the same way. But it was the fact that I couldn't go to the gym when I wanted to, versus before I didn't want to. Like now, I am a reader. I have so many, I have a lot of books. And these aren't even all my books. I have audiobooks and I have like digital books on Kindle type things. So I literally did not fully read a single book that we read in school. Like not even one, and I'm not even joking or lying. Like I did not read the books. I just spark notes my way to graduation. I thought that I hated reading until it became part of my identity to read about things that I enjoyed and wanted to talk about with you guys. So now I'm a reader, you know? What I thought was detrimental to my brain before, because it was like I just hated reading and it was so hard for me to read, became part of my identity, and now I love reading and I do it every day. I read probably 3 different books throughout the day, every day. So back to what I was talking about. When you have that conscious goal that's meaningful to you and you start aligning yourself with it, all of your actions throughout the day are going to be aligned with it, not just when you're doing work. This is what I call the constant flow state. The act of aligning everything you do at all times with something meaningful to you that brings you closer to your goal. This is aligning your conscious mind and body with your purpose at all times, whether that is through work or quality rest. And no, this is not hustle grind set culture. Quality rest is very important if you want to get to your goal. goal. Quality rest is not playing video games for 5 hours after school or work, but I won't get too much into that. That'll be in a future video. You might be thinking, Abraham, I do have goals, but why haven't I made progress? There's a multitude of reasons why you might not be making progress, but what I know is that every goal comes from some sort of desire, shallow or profound. If it's shallow, it's probably not going to produce much intrinsic motivation for you versus a profound, meaningful goal. Shallow desires don't compel sacrifice, whereas a committed purpose sacrifices everything. It borders obsession. I know I've said that quote before probably a couple times, but it's so important to get that idea into your head. You cannot expect to get anywhere if you have shallow pursuits as motivation. It's just not going to work. Shallow desires aren't going to bring you resilience. A committed purpose is how you get resilience and mental toughness. You need intrinsically driven passions to make changes in your life, not shallow, superficial pursuits. The way to develop intrinsic motivation is to align your life with your goals and values, and your actions will reflect that. If you're genuinely committed to something, you will make it happen through consistent action. And the first step is seeking out education. I wasn't waking up at 4 a.m. for months because of systems. I wasn't even getting good sleep at the start. There was no system. It was sheer willpower. I wanted something so badly that I was sacrificing good sleep to get there. Of course, this will come back to bite you over a long period, and I eventually did make a system to get good sleep and wake up early. And I just released a video about that a little while ago. But all of this stemmed because of one meaningful goal, which was to quit my job, then turned into milestones that I needed to accomplish, which turned into consistent action, then came the systems. The truth is that you need to go headfirst into things, maybe without a plan. The more time that you spend planning on how you're going to do something, the longer it's going to take you to do it, versus just going headfirst into something with the knowledge that you already have, and then creating systems based on the problems that you encounter on the way. Seek knowledge when you need it. You can't create systems if you haven't identified the problem that needs to be solved, and you have to solve those problems first. If you're depressed and you're trying to start a business like I was, it's not going to work. Your goal at that moment is to fix your habits so you can improve your mental health. Then, with improved mental health, you can work on the business. You want to start a business, but you don't want to be alive. See how that makes no sense? I used to have this idea in my head that if I started a business and made a lot of money, my mental health problems would just go away because I could erase all of my problems. But in reality, there's no way I was going to make a single dollar of income if I had bad mental health. I made my first $20 online coaching someone about their mental health. How was I supposed to do that if I was still suffering myself? If you have bad mental health, you're not going to be able to have the clarity you need in order to do the things that you want, because you're gonna have this roadblock in the way. But Abraham, what if I already have a plan? Your plan will fail. That's where the systems come in. And some people will say that obsessing over the goal is bad for you, and that the point is to enjoy the journey, but that's also not true. You can enjoy the journey along the way. There's nothing wrong with that. Having a hierarchy of goals that you can achieve along the way will actually make you stick with that journey. You can sit here and tell me that you're gonna enjoy the journey along the way all you want, but let's see what happens when something doesn't go your way, where you hit a roadblock. That journey mentality isn't going to keep you going. So now that you understand the concepts, I'll explain to you how you can use goals to create systems. I want you to think of an architect designing a building. The completed structure is the goal, while the systems are the design creation, material selection, and construction process. Without a clear vision of the completed building, the goal, the architect wouldn't know what kind of design to create or which materials to select, the systems. But without the systems, the building will remain a mere concept and never become a reality. Hence, both the goal and the systems are essential for the design and construction of a building. If you want to get a better understanding of this, I have a free challenge course called 14 Days to Purpose, and I go over this concept of purposeful planning in detail. Actually, just everything that we're going over here, I go over in detail over there, and it's a way for you to apply it. It's completely free, so check it out in the description. It consists of 14 journal prompts and actionable steps that you can use that'll help you live more purposefully on your self-improvement journey and help you gain clarity by having you create your future and steps to get there. Check it out. So step 1, set a big goal. This should be more like a vision or a blueprint for your future self. So it's not really one goal, it's just the future lifestyle that you want for yourself that encapsulates all areas of life. This might be what you have been basing your actions around, and it probably hasn't worked. So that's why we have step 2, that is to refine. Take that blueprint and refine it into a hierarchy of goals over a long period of time. Set a 10-year goal, then a 5-year goal that's bringing you closer to the 10-year goal, then a 1-year goal. Now we're thinking smaller. Then when you have your 1-year goals that are the easiest to set and are going to be more attainable than that 10, 15, 5-year goal, you can divvy it up into quarterly or monthly goals. I prefer monthly. Step 3, systems. Now that we've refined that one big goal into smaller goals that you can complete in the next few months, we can set up daily actions that'll get you there. Set priority tasks that will lead to you accomplishing your monthly goals. These are what you'll be doing in deep work blocks daily, and this should be done when you have the most focused energy possible. For most people, this is going to be first thing in the morning because you're refreshed. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to do this before work. Now I wake up at 5. There's no better feeling than getting all of your work done for the day and working out before most people are even awake. For me, I set aside at least 2 hours to write my newsletter, which is the video script, and another 2 hours for my current projects. And yes, that's all you need. So I'm in that second work block of the morning right now where I'm doing my current project, which is the video. So it's 8 a.m. right now. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have 4 hours in the morning. Yeah, I didn't either. I started doing it in less time than that. I would do a morning block of like 1 hour, an hour and a half before I went to work, and then I would do the same thing in the afternoon before I went to bed. As long as you're making some sort of consistent progress towards something every day, that is all you need. For this period, you need to completely eliminate distractions, including other irrelevant work. Some people get stuck in this phase of doing all these unimportant tasks. For example, replying to every single comment and changing the channel banner before they even have a video up. And things like that. These are the things that you do when you're not doing your focused work. I didn't have a banner on my channel until about 3 months in, and it took me like 2 minutes to make in Canva. My profile picture is some random picture that I took in Boston like a year and a half ago. Those weren't the lever moving tasks that actually are going to help me. It was the deep work tasks like recording, editing, uploading videos that moved the levers towards success on YouTube. All of this was done with the conscious goal in mind of being financially free. Your journey towards achieving your goals is a process. It requires both a clear destination and an efficient system to get you there. Don't let oversimplified advice derail you from your path to success. Keep your end goal in mind, refine it, set up systems, and actively work on it every day. The journey can be enjoyable, but only when it leads you closer to your goals. So go ahead, set your goals, build your systems, and enjoy the journey towards your success. That is all for now. Make sure to try out 14 Days to Purpose to apply these things in real life, and you'll actually write them out while doing it. But I already talked about it, so just check it out. Join the Discord, sign up to the newsletter, all that fun stuff. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. See ya.